Childhood is the main thing for all of us. It will take all part of our life and influence in our future. Like a simple man, celebrities too have better or worse memories from their childhood. Let's talk about that celebrities who had traumatic childhood. Will Smith is internationally famous for being the cool, funny, and effortlessly charming star of both hit television shows. It would be easy to assume that he has had a charmed life where everything came easily for him. Sadly, as Will himself has begun to bravely reveal, his childhood was shaped by trauma and violence at home. Will recently released a memoir in which he reveals that his father was an alcoholic and relentless perfectionist. According to Theman in Blackstar, his father terrorized his family and was physically abusive to Will's mom. The trauma of that experience led Will to some shockingly dark places, including even contemplating hurting or killing his father. His father died of cancer in 2016, but it is likely that the complicated memories of his dad are something that Will still grapples with even now. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most famous women in the world and one of the richest people in America. She's come a long way from the poverty of her childhood, and she has been open for years about the fact that she was sexually abused as a child. She's also bravely shared that she became pregnant at the age of 14 and lost that child while she was an infant. Marshall Mathers, better known as the rapper Eminem, had a childhood that was filled with trauma. His father wasn't present in his life, and he and his mother, whom he claims suffers from Munchausen by proxy syndrome, moved frequently, so he had very little stability in his home life. He's also recounted several stories of being bullied and assaulted as a child and teenager, including some stories that ended up serving as the basis for his music, like the song Brain Damage. Actress Charlize Theron, who was born in South Africa, witnessed the almost unimaginable as a teenager. Her mother shot and killed her father in front of her. Her father had been drunk and was physically attacking her mother, so the shooting was ruled an act of self-defense, but was still a horrific trauma for young Charlize to witness. Like so many other celebrities on this list, Christina Aguilera's early years were impacted by the violence of her father. She has described her father as both physically and emotionally abusive to both herself and her mother, who ultimately would divorce him, leave when Christina was just 6 years old. Demi Moore's early life was shaped by two main factors: instability and alcohol. She's shared that both her mother and the stepfather who raised her were heavy drinkers, and that by the age of 14, she'd moved 30 times, making it hard to form lasting relationships or make friends. By the time she was an adult, Demi lost her stepfather to suicide and was estranged from her mother, who has a lengthy list of arrests. Jay-Z started from a more humble and hard-knocks place. He grew up in a housing project with a single mother after the family was abandoned by his father. While young, he was exposed to street violence, drug dealing, and crime. He has recounted that he was shot several times and even sold drugs himself before finding fame as a rapper. While much of actress Hilary Swank's early years were stable, she and her mother took a major risk when she was a teenager. Hilary, wanting to pursue acting, dropped out of high school, and she and her mother moved to Los Angeles. Before she found steady acting work, she and her mother were homeless and lived out of their car, something that is traumatic even if it was in pursuit of a bigger dream. Another celebrity who experienced homelessness in their teen years is comedian Jim Carrey. As his family experienced financial struggles, they briefly lived out of a van and sometimes in tents. Jim and his brothers both worked as overnight janitors to help the family finances. He also dropped out of high school during this challenging time.